Hi, I'm Stevie Cornelius, and this is my presentation of the book review of the 5 Love Languages of Children. This book is written by Gary Chapman and Ross Campbell, and I'm going to review the following topics: the look and the organization of the book, the writing techniques of the author, the 5 love languages that he talks about, how to find your child's love languages, discipline in learning, single parents and marriage, applying the concepts of communication, and just my overall view of the book. So the first topic I'm going to cover is the look and the organization of the book. I really like the way that the book looks. It looks colorful and it doesn't look like a boring book, and the word children just kind of glows out of the book. The book's about 203 pages long. The text is of a nice size, so the reading goes by pretty quick, which is great for busy parents that are on the go. The content flows easy from one chapter to another, and it's very organized. It's organized about the same way, really, through each chapter. Each chapter is only about 15 to 20 pages long, which makes it a really easy read. The next topic I'm going to cover is the writing techniques of the author. He really writes it to where the audience is parents, and he knows that. He's encouraging to the parents. He doesn't degrade the parents. Chapters give examples and stories about different families and different children, and that really helps us to apply those concepts that he's talking about. All the information in the book I found to be very valuable, and everything is to the point, so you don't feel like you're wasting your time reading the book. The next topic I'm going to talk about is the 5 love languages that he discusses. He writes one chapter for each love language. The different love languages are physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time, gifts, and acts of service. He defines each of these, and he gives examples of the love languages, and he tells you like what to look for, what to see in your children, so you know what love language they need. And how a parent can show love to the children in that way to make their children feel loved. He also talks about how to find your child's love language. This is probably the part that I thought was the most disappointing, because I was hoping, there's just a quiz at the end and he could tell me. But he talks about the ways to find it, and it's a process. It does take time. It took me probably about a week to find my daughter's love language, but it was worth it. The next topic I want to discuss is discipline in learning. I was surprised to find this in this book, but I really found it very valuable. Children need to be disciplined, but we also need to discipline them in a way that they do feel loved. A parent, you can't take away something that makes the child feel loved. There's also a chapter about learning with the love language. If a child's emotional state isn't well, they aren't going to learn as well. So it's important that a child feels loved so they can continue to learn and grow as well. And love also gives a child a sense of security, so they'll feel better about wherever they're at. Another topic I wanted to cover is single parents and marriage. I like that they covered the different kinds of families. They had a chapter just for single parents and a chapter for marriage, and I thought that was a really good thing to include, especially, there's so many children whose families are split up or going through divorce, and it's important that they make a child feel loved through the divorce as well. The chapter about marriage was great, and it's a really good refresher if you've already read the 5 love languages, Gary Chapman's original book. Applying the concepts of communication to this book's all about communication. It's how we communicate love to one another. And, a lot of us focus on how we communicate love to significant others or our spouse, but it's also very important to communicate our love to our children as well. I now have a different perspective on the concepts from our text of looking out, looking in, that I can also apply some of those concepts to my children when I'm communicating with them. My overall view of the book is that I think it's very well worth reading. I have already read, his original 5 love languages, but I would still think that anybody that has kids or works around kids would benefit from reading this book as well. I've applied Chapman's and Ross's concepts and feel that their attitudes, that the attitudes of my children have improved, and we have a lot more of an understanding now. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.